A heart of innocence, a shadow of evil. What drove four teenagers to murder? The quaint town of Madison, Indiana, bore witness to an unspeakable tragedy in 1992. On a cold January night, the life of 12-year-old Shanda Sharer was brutally extinguished, leaving a community grappling with shock and disbelief. Four teenage girls, driven by a twisted mix of jealousy and rage, committed an act of unimaginable cruelty. Their crime sent shockwaves across the nation, forcing us to confront a chilling question. What could possess young people, barely old enough to understand the consequences of their actions, to perpetrate such a horrific act of violence? Shanda Renee Sharer was a bright, bubbly sixth grader at Hazelwood Junior High. She was known for her radiant smile that could light up any room she walked into. Her teachers often spoke of her enthusiasm for learning and her willingness to help her classmates. Shanda was not just a student, she was a friend to many, always ready to lend a hand or share a laugh. Described by those who knew her as a kind and gentle soul, Shanda had a way of making everyone feel special. Her friends often recalled how she would go out of her way to include everyone in activities, ensuring no one felt left out. Her kindness was not just limited to her peers, she was also known for her love of animals, often bringing home stray pets to care for them. Shanda possessed an infectious laughter and a love for life that touched everyone around her. Her laughter was like a melody that could brighten even the darkest days. She had a zest for life that was evident in everything she did, from playing with her friends to participating in school events. Her joy was contagious, and it was impossible not to smile when she was around. She excelled in sports, particularly gymnastics, where she showed remarkable talent and dedication. Shanda spent countless hours practicing, always striving to perfect her routines. Her coaches admired her determination and her ability to push through challenges with grace and poise. Gymnastics was not just a sport for her, it was a passion that she pursued with all her heart, and harbored dreams of one day becoming a marine biologist. She was fascinated by the ocean and its many mysteries. Shanda would spend hours reading about marine life, dreaming of the day she could explore the depths of the sea. Her room was filled with books and posters of marine animals, a testament to her unwavering passion for the underwater world. Her life, filled with promise and innocence, was tragically cut short, leaving a void that could never be filled. The news of her untimely death sent shockwaves through the community, leaving everyone in a state of disbelief and sorrow. The playgrounds where she once played now stood silent, a haunting reminder of the vibrant life that was taken too soon, leaving a void in the hearts of her family and friends that could never be filled. Her family struggled to come to terms with the loss, finding it hard to imagine a world without Shanda's laughter and love. Her friends, too, were left grappling with the harsh reality of her absence, often visiting her empty bedroom to feel close to her once more. Shanda's parents, divorced but united in their love for their daughter, were devastated by her loss. Despite their differences, they came together in their grief, finding solace in each other's company. They often reminisced about the happy moments they shared with Shanda, clinging to the memories that kept her spirit alive in their hearts. Her mother, Jacques Vaught, became a vocal advocate for victims' rights, channeling her grief into a mission to help others. She spoke at rallies, organized events, and worked tirelessly to raise awareness about the importance of protecting children. Jacques' strength and determination became a beacon of hope for many, showing that even in the face of unimaginable loss, one could find a way to make a difference, dedicating her life to ensuring that her daughter's memory lived on. Through various initiatives and charitable events, Jacques kept Shanda's spirit alive, reminding the world of the bright young girl who had so much to offer. Her efforts not only honored Shanda's memory, but also provided support and comfort to other families who had experienced similar tragedies. Shanda's murder served as a stark reminder that even in the perceived safety of small-town America, darkness can lurk in the shadows. The community, once considered a safe haven, was forced to confront the harsh reality that danger could strike anywhere, at any time. The streets that were once filled with laughter and joy now carried an air of caution and vigilance, ready to snatch away innocence in the blink of an eye. Shanda's story is a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. It calls on us to protect our children, to be vigilant, and to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. Her legacy lives on, urging us to create a safer world for the generations to come. The Faces of Fury: Melinda Loveless, Lori Tackett, Hope Rippey, and Tony Lawrence. These 4 young women, whose lives were marred by pain and suffering, became infamous for their involvement in one of the most harrowing crimes of their time. Their actions would forever change the lives of many, and leave an indelible mark on the community. The 4 teenagers responsible for Shanda's death were Melinda Loveless, Lori Tackett, Hope Rippey, and Tony Lawrence. Each of them played a role in the tragic events that unfolded, driven by a complex web of emotions and influences. Their collective actions led to a night of unimaginable horror, culminating in the brutal murder of a young girl whose only crime was being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Each girl came from a troubled background, their lives marked by dysfunctional families, abuse, and a desperate search for belonging. These factors created a volatile mix, setting the stage for the tragic events that would follow. Their stories are a stark reminder of how deeply personal pain can manifest in destructive ways, especially when left unchecked and unsupported. Melinda Loveless, the purported ringleader, was a deeply troubled teen grappling with her own demons. Her life was a tumultuous journey through abuse and neglect, leaving her with a fractured sense of self. She struggled to find her place in the world, often lashing out in anger and frustration. Her relationship with her father was particularly toxic, filled with violence and emotional manipulation. Abused by her father and grappling with her sexuality, she projected her inner turmoil onto Shanda. Melinda's internal conflict and unresolved trauma created a dangerous cocktail of emotions that she could not control. Her need for power and control over her own life led her to exert that power over others in the most horrific ways imaginable. Lori Tackett, easily influenced and eager to please, became Loveless's second in command. Lori too had her own share of struggles, including a tumultuous home life and a desperate need for acceptance. She found a twisted sense of belonging in her relationship with Melinda, who provided the validation she so desperately craved. This need to be accepted and valued led her down a dark path where she became an active participant in the crime. She craved acceptance and validation, finding a perverse sense of power in participating in the horrific acts. Lori's involvement was driven by a combination of fear, loyalty, and a misguided sense of empowerment. She believed that by aligning herself with Melinda, she could gain the strength and confidence she lacked in her own life. Hope Rippey, plagued by low self-esteem and a desire to fit in, went along with the group, fearing rejection and further isolation. Hope's insecurities made her vulnerable to peer pressure, and she found herself swept up in the group's dynamics. Her need to be accepted by her peers overrode her moral compass, leading her to participate in actions she might not have otherwise considered. Tony Lawrence, though present during the initial abduction, later claimed she had no part in the torture and murder. Tony's role in the events remains a subject of debate, with some believing she was a reluctant participant, while others argue she was complicit. Her conflicting statements and actions have left many questions unanswered, adding another layer of complexity to an already tragic story. Her role in the tragedy remains a point of contention to this day. The legal proceedings that followed were fraught with emotion and controversy, as the community grappled with the enormity of the crime and the appropriate punishment for those involved. The case continues to be a poignant reminder of the devastating impact of violence and the importance of addressing the underlying issues that can lead to such acts. Jealousies grip the toxic brew of teenage angst and obsession. This potent mix of emotions can lead to devastating consequences, especially when left unchecked. Teenage years are often fraught with intense feelings and a desperate need for acceptance and love. When these emotions are combined with jealousy, they can create a dangerous and volatile situation. At the heart of this horrific crime lay a tangled web of teenage jealousy and obsession. The social dynamics of high school can be incredibly complex, with friendships and relationships often shifting rapidly. Gossip and rumors can spread like wildfire, fueling misunderstandings and heightening emotions. In this case, the toxic brew of jealousy and obsession led to a tragic outcome. Melinda Loveless had become fixated on Shanda, believing the young girl to be romantically involved with her on-again, off-again girlfriend, Amanda Hevrin. This belief, whether grounded in reality or not, consumed Melinda. She saw Shanda as a threat to her relationship with Amanda, and this perceived threat ignited a firestorm of jealousy and rage within her. Fueled by a dangerous cocktail of possessiveness and rage, Loveless convinced her friends that Shanda needed to be taught a lesson that would ultimately escalate into unimaginable brutality. The power of influence and peer pressure cannot be underestimated, especially among teenagers who are still developing their sense of identity and morality. Loveless's friends, caught up in the drama and intensity of the situation, went along with her plan, not fully grasping the gravity of their actions. The girl's actions were not merely the result of a childish spat or a momentary lapse in judgment. They were the culmination of a series of poor decisions, fueled by intense emotions and a lack of guidance. The environment in which these teenagers found themselves played a significant role in shaping their behavior. Without proper support and intervention, their feelings of jealousy and anger festered and grew, leading to a tragic and violent outcome. They were the product of a toxic environment where insecurity, peer pressure, and a lack of healthy coping mechanisms festered into something dark and sinister. The pressures of adolescence can be overwhelming, and without the right tools to navigate these challenges, teenagers can easily become overwhelmed. In this case, the lack of healthy coping mechanisms and the influence of negative peer pressure created a perfect storm of emotions that led to a horrific crime. The case served as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked anger and the urgent need for intervention when troubled youth exhibit warning signs of violence. It highlights the importance of providing teenagers with the support and resources they need to manage their emotions and navigate the challenges of adolescence. By recognizing the warning signs and intervening early, we can help prevent such tragedies from occurring in the future. The story of Melinda Loveless and Shanda serves as a powerful example of the potential consequences of teenage jealousy and obsession, and the critical need for awareness and intervention.